Hey, and welcome to Discard. Today I'm going to talk again about a few different ways that you can display your Nintendo Switch games and cartridges in your collection. This is part 3. Let's take a look. So the first idea is actually a case holder, and it holds multiple different cases. It actually holds 12 different cases. And this comes from a company called Adobe, but I've noticed when I'm searching around the internet that I see this same design coming from several different Chinese companies. So it's kind of one of these weird things that you don't really understand who's got the rights to this thing. I'll put the link in the description to the item that I found, but I just keep in mind that there's several others out there on Amazon and eBay and others that are exactly the same item. But this is really great because you don't have to have bookends to hold up your games, and it works really well in that way. It allows you to put it on top of something and not have to use those bookends and not have to lean it against something else. And that's a really big plus, because then it's just your games hanging out there on top of whatever it is you're putting it on top of, and it looks really good. Another plus about these is that it actually came with 2 of the displays in one box. So you end up being able to hold around 24 different games. And that's just a huge plus. That's a pretty large size collection of Switch titles for your average person, and that would be able to display them anywhere, which is a really cool idea. And for the most part, the focus is going to be on your games, and that works out really well. So we definitely recommend looking into these and checking them out. Now I'm grouping a couple different ideas into one because they are single case holders for Nintendo Switch. And the first one are these tiny little mini holders that I found on Etsy. They're not the most polished thing. They say Nintendo. You can choose your color of them. They're pretty inexpensive and really cheap, but they hold a single case and allow you to put that case anywhere you want and kind of hold it up, and it does look really nice. Now if you look up close on these, they're 3D printed and they're a little messy and they're not perfect, so just keep that in mind if you do decide to go out there and get these. The second single case holder is from Limited Run Games, and Limited Run Games just recently started doing Nintendo Switch titles, so they released a case that was made by Rose Colored Gaming, a fantastic company that makes some of the best displays out there, and this display is no exception to that at all. It's absolutely beautiful. It does have the Limited Run logo on it, but it makes a really nice display to show off that individual case and allow you to see all that box art. So the next idea is kind of a weird idea. I like looking for these kind of less conventional ideas out there and try to find if certain things will work when nobody's really looking at them in that way. And this is a glasses display, and it works really well. It's completely made out of acrylic. It's designed probably for in-store for somebody to display different types of glasses that they're selling, but it works really good for Nintendo Switch games. It holds 6 different games, and it is a tiered display, so it does show a lot of the artwork, but it also raises everything up off the ground, which will allow you to put more stuff in front of this display if you wanted to display more items. Overall, I wasn't expecting this display to actually work for too much, but I wanted to experiment with it to see if different cartridges would work. And I was glad to see that Nintendo Switch games was one of the games that would work in this particular display. So definitely take a look at this if you want more options when you're displaying your games in your collection. The next idea was actually recommended to me in the comments and on Twitter, and it's a video game collection multi-case that will hold several different cartridges from the Nintendo Switch system. Now it's a pretty simple idea. It's a big plastic case that kind of mimics a Nintendo Switch in the first place, and then secondarily it mimics the actual game case of the games for the Nintendo Switch. And inside you have a foam pad that's got cutouts so that you can put your Nintendo Switch games into there. And they're pretty simple. They're not going to hurt your cartridges. It really works really well for what it is. Now, I don't necessarily consider this a display idea. It's more of a storage idea since the case closes and doesn't actually show the artwork of the games. But it is a really cool idea, and I wanted to share that with you guys today and make sure people were aware that this really cool case was out there to hold all of your cartridges. And the last idea I wanted to talk about today was an awesome design. It's made by a company called KD Design, and it is actually a master sword that displays your Nintendo Switch games. Now the sword itself actually comes out of the sheath and holds 6 different games. And this allows it to do a bunch of different things. You can display the entire thing in its sheath on a shelf, and it looks really cool in a game collection. Or you can take the sword out and display it next to the sheath, and it looks really cool. But for the most part, this thing is just so awesome. It is 3D printed, so there's going to be some little minor changes in it, little differentiations. But for the most part, it's amazing that they were able to 3D print this in so many different colors and really nail the design through and through. Now, from a huge Zelda fan, this is certainly the coolest way to display your game cartridges in your collection. It is so cool. There's so many different ways you can do it. It's the first Master Sword to hit my collection, and I'm certainly going to display it on my shelf proudly. And you just look at it and you can see all the detail and all the time that they put into this, and they really cared about it. They even sent a little note on the piece of paper when they mailed this to me, and it is really cool. So definitely go and check these guys out. They're doing great work. They're not just half doing their job. So thanks for coming and checking out part 3 of the Nintendo Switch display ideas videos. I still got part 1 and 2. I'll leave links to those in the description if you've missed those. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. But otherwise, have a great day and collect what you love.
We got love that we'll never need to hide. Love will always rise above whatever comes.
Not this time, discard.